Today on the DNVR Pregame Show for Colorado versus Iowa State, the Buffs receive another brutal injury report. We have a special guest joining the show, plus Unk's going to share updates from practice and how Coach Prime is doing after surgery. Let's go.
Yo!
Squad! Coming to you from the Toyota Lounge driven by Front Range Toyota Stores is the DNVR Pregame Show. Big game this weekend against Iowa State. Got our guy Unk calling in. What's up, brother?
It's all good in the hood, fam. How y'all make it in the studio?
We're living.
We're cooling it. I didn't even go lie, Unk. I didn't see you in your little picture box before the show started. This might be the first time in my life where somebody has made me jealous that I don't got no facial hair or no beard right now. Cause that thing right now, G, it's looking right. I ain't gonna lie. That beer oil must be putting in work. And I see you, Unk. I gotta say that.
Well, I appreciate that, Scotty, and I must also reciprocate the compliments because I posted some pictures of me in college without facial hair. And the world seems to think we look alike. They said, man, it looks like Scotty Deep Pockets, Uncle Neely in college. So you must look damn good, Scotty, for people to make that comparison.
Hey, I gotta say I saw it too. I saw them photos on your Instagram, that throwback. What had to be a throwback Thursday? Yeah, yesterday was Thursday. A little throwback Thursday action. I'm like, that young man looked familiar right there. I'm glad somebody else noticed it too.
Yes, sir. Jake, how you feeling, brother?
You know what, man? I just cannot complain. I've never been living better in my life. I'm just happy to be here right now.
You were, when I was in the green room, you're a little on edge, but you settled, you calmed.
I mean, if I'm not on edge before a show, are we having a show?
Great damn point. I hadn't considered that. Great point.
Oh God.
You know how we keep it over here.
Real as can get.
Facts. All right, Unk. Let's start with practice, I guess. We'll have a guest coming in shortly. We'll do injuries as well. But what'd you see this week? Obviously, another tough loss last weekend. How'd you see the team respond this week for another home game against a ranked team?
Man, before I can even get into how the team responded and what they look like for practice, let me give just a tip of the cap to one Shedeur Sanders, a.k.a. Coach Prime. To announce on Tuesday midday that you're going to have surgery, to have that surgery that evening, and to be at practice the next day. You talk about testicular fortitude and want to. What this guy endures and goes through to coach college ball, it just continues to amaze me from Jackson State to now. I think he's been on like 15 or 16 surgeries. Many of those have occurred during the season. The team is shocked and pleased and surprised that he's there still coaching and actively coaching. He was on the Segway scooter today during practice, moving around to keep from walking as much. But I want to start there when you talk about practice. To have your head coach show up less than 24 hours after surgery is a major thing.
No doubt about it.
You good?
Yeah. Coach Unk, I like to call you Coach and Unk because both of them are acceptable and both of them are valid and both of them fit. What is your read on Iowa State this week, right? A top 25 team, a team that's coming off a loss last week, a loss that a lot of people didn't really see coming from them against the Cincinnati team that came out ready to go. What do you think is important for this Colorado football team this week as they get ready to face another ranked opponent at the crib?
Man, what's so crazy about it, Scotty, great question, is that you've lost some games, right? But the very thing that you need to do to win games, particularly this one, is exactly what you did in the games you lost. Like you
Facts.
have done the formula. You
Yep.
just didn't close the deal to finish. 0-3 in conference, 2 of those games, you're up 14 points. And then in the other one, hell, you're in the game to some degree at some point. And so when you sit back and say, well, what do we need to fix? What do we need to work on? It's working. Somehow, much different juxtaposed to last year. You remember, Scotty, last year when Colorado was setting records defensively in the second half or getting all these kudos about adjustments? Well,
Yep.
one of the
Yep.
things that's been taking place is like these teams have been adjusting to us, but we haven't been necessarily adjusting to their adjustment.
That's right.
And so what once was a lead is now a tie game. And then once they're up 3 or 7 or 10, that panic sets in because this team hasn't coalesced in adversity yet. And so you talk about what they've been working on, man, it's literally the same thing, like attention to detail, finish. Learn how to not just play with a lead, but extend the lead, starting with first down and getting them off the field defensively on third down and making sure we can continue drives on third down. Like the formula is the formula.
This time last year, we're coming off that Baylor win, and Baylor's sitting at 2-4, right where Colorado is right now. They obviously go on to have a really good season, and winning out, they go 8-4. Just, is there some of, I know Coach Prime is kind of preaching that, we believe in all that stuff, but how is the team kind of responding to where they are in the season right now? Still half a season left ahead of them.
Well, responding with just that example. And I think the year before that, or maybe that same year, Arizona did the same thing. And so you literally, Coach David Kelly, who's the general manager, on Monday brought up that point about Baylor. Like, look, they did it. We beat them. They're sitting the same record we have now. And they not only finish 8-4, get a bowl game, they do wonderful in their bowl game. And so don't you for a minute think that we don't have the talent, the staff, everything in place to do that as well. But I think the mantra, Scotty, is not so much what Baylor did and how it ended as much as it is you got to start, and Iowa State is where it starts. One of the things Coach Pecco said is, fellas, when your back is against the wall, you got to take a step forward. You got to get your back off the wall, and then get your back off the wall better than a win. And so when you talk about going against this Iowa State team, you got to start here, guys. It's like we talk all the time on this show about these must-win games. Like, here it is.
Fits the description.
You finally got one.
No doubt about it. We're going to talk a little bit more about the injuries later in the show on pretty lengthy injury report again for Colorado. Jake and I were talking about it yesterday from this vantage point. It seems like with all the injuries, especially to some of the guys who this team is counting on, it seems like this is a good opportunity for some of the young guys to get opportunities and to kind of really get their feet wet. I'm thinking of the London Merritts, Alexander McPherson's, the Quentin Gibsons, maybe even the Christian Hudson's on the interior of that defensive line. Do you kind of see it that way too, as somewhat of a silver lining with all these injuries, that it opens up some opportunities, some avenues for some of these younger guys to get their shine a little bit?
I absolutely see it that way, Scotty, and you can even feel that vibe in the building amongst the players and the coaches. One thing I will say about this team, players and coaches, there hasn't been any panic over the injury report because this team, was quote unquote built to be able to sustain that. It was built to have depth. It was built for next man up to be more than just a cliche, for it to be not that noticeable or even a bit of damn difference between the next guys going in. And so you're spot on, Scotty, from a player standpoint. You got guys salivating and ready to get out there because this is their opportunity. And from a coach standpoint, they don't have to change a thing, because it's built with those guys in mind. So you hear it all the time in the coaching manual, next man up, but you just don't hear or see that panic. Even with that lengthy injury report going, oh, what are we going to do? Such and so's out. Oh, woe is me. He's out. They're like, no, let's play ball, man. We're ready.
Definitely.
I love it, man. Well, we just got the magic chime. We'll give it a minute. But Coach, have you seen Caden Rasalter respond, after last week? Obviously a tough performance back at home, 3 interceptions. Just what have you seen from him?
Man, what I've seen is something I just wish the world could see. Coach Prime has a very open program compared to most college programs. But that 15, 20% you don't see, it's a mofo. And I saw Caden Salter stand up and say I played like shit. And that won't happen again. To see his owning it, his focus at practice, to make sure you're not doubling down on mistakes, that you're making the right reads, et cetera, et cetera. I've seen just as much growth in K-Salt between last week and now as I saw in him when he had to sit that week and Staub went in.
Excellent. Love to hear it.
Gonna need a big week from that boy. I'm excited to see him bounce back for sure.
For sure. Let's take our first break, and then it sounds like we got a guest joining the show. Shout out to our friends over at Taco Bell, man. You know what it is. If you're supporting the Buffs, you might as well support Taco Bell as well, because the duo just go hand in hand at this point. Check out their new Cantina Chicken menu. We had the Cantina Chicken Bowls a couple days ago. I mean, Taco Bell, I don't know how they keep on doing it, but they just keep on finding new ways to make delicious food, and that's the next example of it. You can also check out the Decades menu, or go get yourself a Buffs box if you're in Colorado and can stop by one of those locations. $7 featuring 4 Taco Bell classics plus a large drink in a CU Buff player collectible cup. You get a cheesy gordita crunch, 5-layer burrito, Cinetwist, and a Doritos Locos taco. Again, all for $7. Taco Bell is also a proud sponsor of CU Athletics, and we'll be donating $1,000 to the Golden Buffalo Scholarship Foundation for every CU touchdown scored. Buffs love the bell, man. We need lots of those touchdowns tomorrow too.
Show do. Shout out to Taco Bell, and shout out to our good friends, the squad over at Coors Light, man. I'm missing my boy RK Merritt, but he sent us a video yesterday of him enjoying some Coors Lights out there in London. And man, those Coors Lights are good whether you in America, whether you in Europe, or just about anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever you decide to choose chill, man, it's a good time to grab you a good old Coors Light, because when those mountains turn blue, tell you, man, it's as cold as the Rockies. Coors Light is cold lagered, it's cold filtered, and it's cold packaged for a smoother finish. And as always, it's as crisp and refreshing as the Colorado Rockies. So make the most out of the times you choose to chill. Choose Coors Light. Get Coors Light delivered straight to your door. Visit CoorsLight.com/DNVR. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Shout out to Coors Light.
One more shout out. Shout out to my guy, Chris Mitchell. It's his birthday today.
Shout out Chris.
Happy birthday to our guy, Chris.
Happy glow day, broski.
Taking care of us tremendously over the years here at DNVR.
My guy.
So hope you have a great one, brother.
Hell yeah.
All right, Alyssa, what's going on?
I'm not ready for 2 guys.
Okay. Can we get Unk back? All right, we'll get to the injury report here in a bit. We do have a guest joining the show. Of course, prime players to come as well.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we've touched on it. Obviously the freshmen are going to have to step up and play quite a bit. We've mentioned those edge rushers. They've gotten a lot of burn this time.
A lot of burn.
You're funny, bro. You know
You're
that?
funny. You're hilarious. Unc, I want to ask you about somebody that we heard from this week. And that's Dallin Hayden, right? Kind of had the injury to start the year. DeKalen Taylor's been out. Simeon Price has been out. I think last week was Dallin Hayden's best game as a Colorado Buffalo. He ran fierce. He ran like he wasn't trying to get tackled at all. What have you seen from Dallin as he's worked his way back from an injury? And now it kind of looks like him and Mike are kind of 1A, 1B.
Yeah, I think they are 1A and 1B. And that again coincides with the injuries that are in that room, but that also coincides, with the coach thinking of Marshall Faulk and to build a room by committee for different situations with backs and different styles. And so Dallin was one of those first backs to go down, and as fate would have it, as he is back up and in game shape, another 2 backs go down. And so that 1-2 punch of him and Micah is still there. I love the way he was running last week. I love what I'm seeing in practice.
Yeah.
And I love even more the coaching up I see and hear in the film room between he and Coach Falk. Something that Scotty looks like a successful damn run to me. Coach Falk is like, hey, watch this, do this. you'll get even more out of that, working this angle. So I think this is not only has to be a big game for our backs, but I think these guys have been performing in a manner and practicing in a manner that you're going to see it. I know we're going to get ahead to picks and predictions, but quarterback, his legs, two backs, one of the keys to winning this game is going to be 150 plus to be on the ground.
Got to be.
Love it. One of the guys I think we're going to be counting on to stop the run, joining the show now. Go ahead, Alyssa, bring him on up. It's our guy.
Let's go.
Arden, what's up, bro?
Hey, how you doing? I'm sorry, I was literally getting on the bus, travel day, but crazy timing. I apologize.
No,
How y'all
you're good,
doing
man.
today?
We're doing well.
That's
doing
real
well.
deal ball there, man. We love that shot.
Yeah, see it raw and up front. I apologize, but
Man, you're good. We'll just start off. I mean,
Hold on. Damn, Sean.
obviously,
Can you
tough game last week. Just, how do you think you and the guys are, regrouping and responding for another ranked team coming into Boulder this weekend?
we have to put more work in. I feel like just continue to just keep working hard. I thought we were cracking that in. I thought we were going to get over that hump. We're going to the middle part of the season. It's more like, now I think I just got to readjust going into the bye week. So we're going to just begin to win this week so we can feel good about the second half of the season.
Arden, you guys kind of, as a defense, kind of had a slow start to the season last year in terms of the sack production, but once it came through, it came through, and obviously y'all led the conference in sacks. It's kind of been a similar slow start to this season as well, but how close does it feel like you guys are as a pass rushing unit to kind of breaking that levy and, getting that sack production that you guys are capable of?
I feel like we're still close. I feel like we're even closer than last year. It's just more about just earning the right to rush the passer. So I still stopping the run on first and second down. So that's the biggest part.
All right, as a room, as it relates to, depth, talent, injuries, all of that secret sauce, how enthused are you as one of those leaders, when you see what McPherson is doing, you see what Merritt is doing, even Keaton Wade bouncing back from injuries last year. You got a pretty deep and talented group with you. Any two can go out there and get it done. That's got to give you some confidence.
Sure. I mean, I'm glad that two freshmen understand the standard and they're like understand there's no drop off when they go in. And I mean, I call those two my sons, but thing one and thing two. But I'm just glad that they.
We lose them?
Oh,
Yeah.
can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we got
Yeah,
you.
we got you.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, we got you.
You good, Arden?
That bus Wi-Fi ain't working no more.
It's tough out there on the roads. I think we would know, right?
For real.
Yes. Tell me about it.
We'll take that. Though.
Shout
Always
out,
call
to
him
Kenny,
back.
shout out to Kenny Highways.
Shout out Kenny Ayers, wherever he may be. Hope he's doing
I'm sorry, my bad. I think it's disconnected, but no, I was saying like I feel like they're still stepping up as youngins, and then obviously me and K-Way, we're making sure that they're on it. I feel like we're the two old heads in the room, of course, and I feel like they're looking at us from just leading by example, if anything. So they ask some questions and still soaking up stuff like a sponge. And obviously it's going to be their year next year, so I expect them to take over after us. So I mean, I'm glad they're getting it in right now because I feel like that's what they need to do.
Arden, just as a legacy buff, I mean, the stat came out today. I mean, CU, other than CSU, Iowa State is the team they've beaten the most so far. I know it's a match by match basis. You're not going to take any of that into account for Saturday, but just can you talk just from the historical standpoint what this matchup kind of means to this university and the team that you're on right now?
Move forward. Yeah, it's another old classic Big A matchup. So I mean, I actually did not know that until you just told me, but. I mean, of course, we're taking it one game at a time, and we're treating like any other opponent, and how important it is to get a win and go 1-0 each week. So, but I didn't know that. That's actually interesting.
Spread that word, brother.
Yeah.
But no, Arden, what have you seen on film watching this Iowa State football team? A really good quarterback, two really good running backs, some weapons on the perimeter as well. What is going to be important for you guys to have the dominant performance defensively that you guys got to have on Saturday?
I mean, like you just said, they're pretty solid in the run game, and they have a decent quarterback. So, like I said, we got to stop the run and create turnovers and get off on the field when it's third down. Like, we got to convert, really. Simple as that.
What happened?
I feel like, oh, my bad.
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Arden.
No, I was just saying, I feel like over these last couple weeks, we have not finished. And that's why I feel like we've been coming up short in the last few games. And I think that's something we've been preaching to each other just throughout the week is finish. Finish is the big part of this thing, if anything. I think that's going to get us over the hump by finishing games and winning like we're supposed to. Like, just when we come out in that second half, got to capitalize on our opportunity.
Third down, I feel like you just mentioned that is important. Obviously, this is football we're talking about, and Iowa State is one of the best third down offenses in the Big 12 this season. What kind of is there a different mode you feel like you got to go in personally or defensively when it's third down, right? Because that is kind of the difference in wins and losses in a lot of football games.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I treat third downs like 1-and-1, like free throws, like basketball. If anything, like you get off and you're successful, and you get another one. That's opportunities to you feel more confident, and so I feel like adding up on those third downs, the more we get, I feel like it builds confidence throughout the game.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to stay on third down with you if I can, Arden. The last game we knew going in that we were facing a team that had about a 65% success rate on third down, and the goal was to get them closer to 50. We achieved that. I think they went 7 of 16 or something like that on third down. So my question is, from a defense standpoint, when you got a box to check and you check it, how do you double down on the lock in and not give up something else? Because it seemed like, okay, hey, we stopped this, we fixed this, but then this got away from us.
I feel like making the necessary adjustments, even when we do get the stop, just kind of make sure we staying consistent with what works. Like if change it, I feel like and then also got to get a feel throughout the game. So I think when you get up or you get hot, like you got to start attacking a certain way too. So.
Last one for me, Arden. I mean, obviously Rocco Beck's really good quarterback, but he's going to run with the football as well. I mean, you guys, have struggled at times to defend the quarterback run. Just what's the kind of approach again this week going into another team who you're going to see that again from?
I mean, I feel like this week we've been preaching 11 hats to the ball. That's something that we got to make sure you get guys on the ground. I think tackling is the biggest part of it. So getting the guy on the ground and getting behind the sticks, that I think give us a shot, if anything.
That's all I got.
All right. Are you good, Unc?
I'm good, Arden, man. Enjoy that bus ride over to the team hotel.
Yes, sir.
Save me a plate.
Yeah, I appreciate y'all. My bad. Y'all see me like real close and personal like this. But
it's all good. Appreciate
part of the
Arden.
squad, bro. Appreciate you.
Thank you for joining me.
Well, God bless y'all. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Go
See
crazy tomorrow, bro.
All right. So there you go. We just had Arden Walker on the show.
Always love talking to him, bro. I love how you brought
he's
up
one of
the legacy buff part of it. And although he didn't know the Colorado's dominance in the historical context of beating Iowa State, I love that he just, it's an old Big 8 matchup.
I feel like if there's one player to tell that to, it's him.
Exactly. You heard me. I'm like, hey, spread that word, boy. Spread that word. I love that. That's awesome. I always love hearing from Arden.
I always love seeing Mate 1 in the chat. I see you, Mark.
Let's go, Mark.
Hey, let's go, Mate.
Appreciate you, man. All right, let's do injury report real quick. Yeah, go ahead. We'll bring Unc back here in just a second. We're going to throw up this injury report presented by our friends over at Common Spirit. Experience the difference compassion makes. Find a Common Spirit location near you and discover a new standard of health and healing, by visiting mountain.commonspirit.org. Common Spirit Health, official healthcare partner of the Denver Broncos. All right. It's tough right now. But I mean, I think that it's not all bad news. Clearly there's a lot of players that are out who have been out for a long time. Samuel Okunlola, we're not going to see him again. Tawfiq Thomas is about to miss his third game in a row now, I think
that's right.
And then you lose Tavian Coleman and Gabriel Lightfoot to surgeries over the last couple of weeks, assuming they're out for TBD really at this point.
Yeah.
But there it is. Hakeem Williams now listed as out. RJ Johnson, that's an interesting one because he's listed as out, but he tweeted out a picture today of a Bible verse and his him in uniform. No idea what that means, but I'm sure it means something. Of course, the running back room is also tough. If you can go to the next slide, Alyssa. Doubtfuls. I mean, Draylon Isaiah, you're not going to see them. Carter Stoutmeyer. I mean, we'll see. Arden Walker just joined the show.
Yep.
Stay tuned. Reggie Hughes, Kareem Hardin, Amari McNeil, and Anquin Barnes questionable. That's pretty much it. I mean, Iowa State is dealing with some injuries themselves, most notably Carson Hansen, the running back. I believe he's questionable as well.
Yeah.
And as we learned talking to our guy Jake yesterday on Know Your Enemy, Iowa State's on their third string kicker.
A kicker they do not trust.
Yes.
To even kick a 35-yard field goal.
So when I was talking yesterday about how they keep on throwing out this swinging gate formation, you know what I mean? They keep on trying to go for two. That makes a lot more sense now.
That is why. And that could be your pathway to stealing points here and there, right? I mean, it could force Iowa State to go for it on fourth down when they probably really don't want to sometimes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If you don't have that trust in your kicker. So that might be more important than any position loss that you might have when it comes to Iowa State. So that is certainly going to be something to watch. They're, like you said, you mentioned their running back, their leading rusher, Carson Hansen, is questionable as well. We'll see. Again, a lot of those guys on Colorado's side of the injury report have been out the last few weeks. I would say, obviously, the defensive line is obviously a bit concerning.
Yeah.
But we'll see about Amari McNeil's status. He's questionable. Same with Anquin Barnes. But kind of what we were talking about earlier with Unk. I expect to see a lot of London Merritt.
Right.
A lot of Alexander McPherson. Christian Hudson got his first extended action last week. I would expect that to increase as well. BDS, obviously, redshirt freshman, has been played a lot. I think you mentioned
I think he's back.
50-plus snaps last week, which is quite a bit for the interior defensive line. So you're going to be depending on younger guys, but that doesn't mean that you're at a disadvantage, so to speak.
But he's fully back. Doesn't even show up on the injury report
Love
this
that.
week. I mean, you love to see that. Go ahead and bring Unk back in. Unk, obviously, you know, tough injury report. Just, you know, what can you share with us about the injuries? You know, how's the team looking right now?
Yeah, man, like I said earlier, let me double back to it, particularly for folks who may just have joined the show, because I think it's relevant to state it twice. This is why this team was built this way. It was built this way for October injuries to not be a reason we slide or fail.
Yeah.
And so there's really been no sense of panic amongst these position coaches or amongst these players, because even the players, I hate that the guy in front of me got hurt, but this is the opportunity for me to seize and what I've been working on, whether it's scout team or team two, you know, in practice. And so no one has hit the panic button because of injuries in the building. And then you think about where these coaches come from, you know, what they did in college and their NFL careers. They know the injuries this time of year facing everybody. And so what you hope for is our younger guys step up with that, like they've been doing, and you win this one. You got this bye week.
Yeah.
And now you're coming back with Utah pretty much full healthy like you were before any of this happened. So what looks like disaster on paper, when you factor in some of those guys who haven't been playing anyway and now the new guys, and then the time you may be getting it back with the bye week, it all just goes right back into the bucket of this is the must-win one.
No doubt. And honestly, to me, as long as that offensive line is all healthy and ready to go, which
you have
which
a
they
back.
are, then you exactly.
That's all I
and you
care
got
about.
a running back, somebody to run the football. This offense at least should be just fine. And defensively, that's why Coach Prime and us as well have talked about how deep this team was, how the depth of this team has improved so much this offseason via the transfer portal, via the high school ranks as well. So as bad as the injury report might look in terms of quantity, in terms of the number of names on the list, I don't think it's going to have a huge impact in terms of the result that we see play out tomorrow.
I agree.
Yeah, and I want to flip it to their side of the equation, if I may.
Sure.
You guys touched on it when giving that excellent breakdown. What an opportunity for Q for 6 to take one to the house, because these balls are not going to go out the back of the end zone.
Nope.
They're going to be coming down around the 15 or the 10-yard line for the most part. And so the opportunity on special teams to get back to that level of perfection that they've been at. The special teams, in my mind, took a slide last week. You know, we had some uncharacteristic, you know, bad plays where we shanked one, or not to mention the one hitting the guy in the back and turning it over. But our special teams is indeed special. And when you're facing a team who's down to their third kicker, and that third kicker is not putting it up there with the tubas, here's your chance to take one and at a minimum have a serious flip and field position if you don't take it to the house.
Beautifully said. I wrote this today in our roundtable today. Through 6 games, Iowa State has allowed the most return attempts, the most return yardage and is tied for the second fewest touchbacks in the Big 12 this season. Last week, Cincinnati kickoff return yards on 3 attempts. One of those was massive in terms of flipping the field and allowing Cincinnati to keep up that momentum early.
Yep.
Remember, they put up a 17-0 lead on them last week that ultimately proved insurmountable. And we lived this timeline last year. Colorado lived through this last year. You can't get the ball through the goal line. You can't get any touchbacks. Your kickoff coverage is not great, and it's just allowing teams to constantly flip the field. So it's a massive part in this game, what Quentin Gibson's going to be able to do in the return game, because there's some meat on the bone there for sure for Colorado to take advantage of.
Absolutely, Jake. And again, man, if let's say he doesn't take it to the house, I would much rather have to drive 60 yards for a touchdown and drive 80. And so just getting it to around midfield, we got a guy by the name of Buck that, I mean, you're starting off in field goal range.
Yeah, facts.
And the confidence that gives you, whether you're a play caller or a student athlete out there, is like, okay, guys, relax, because really all we got to do is not lose yards.
Yep.
Like, let's try one up deep because we're playing with house money. Let's try this because we're playing with house money, because we're already sitting here in Buck's range right now.
And that's how you do it. That's how you pull off an upset, so to speak, against a top 25 team at your home. You win on the margins. You win the position, the field position battle. You win the turnover margin. Like that. Those are the type of ingredients that it takes to pull off an upset. And honestly, in terms of those two things, the kick return yardage, Quentin Gibson has shown that he's capable of doing that.
Yeah.
The turnover is another thing that I'm going to be watching. This Colorado defense doesn't have a takeaway since week 2 against Delaware.
Crazy.
That's 4 games pretty much without one. And Rocco Beck has only thrown 2 interceptions this season. He's good at taking care of the football, but whether it's a interception, whether it's punching that thing out from a ball carrier, this Colorado defense has got to force at least one turnover, get at least one takeaway to steal an extra possession for their offense. That's how it's a formula for these type of upsets that we literally see every single weekend in college football.
Yep.
That brother got some deep pockets.
Let's take our next break, and we'll get to prime players and a couple other things I want to ask Unc about. Shout out to my homies, our homies over at Bet365, the place to bet on football, on really anything right now. I'm telling you, the early money line payouts, it's 17 points for football. If your team goes up by 17 points or more,
So clutch.
at any point during the game, it's an automatic money line cash out, even if the other team comes back to win. That applies to all sports at Bet365. Hockey, football, obviously, baseball. We're going to have NBA starting up soon as well. So make sure you get in at Bet365. Use the promo code DNVR365 when you sign up, and you'll get $200 in bonus bets when you bet $5, win or lose. Again, sign up, use the code DNVR365, deposit $10, place a bet of $5, and then you'll get $200 in bonus bets if your bet wins or loses. Those bonus bets can be used on anything: the spread, totals, player props, futures, and more. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. You must be 21 or older and physically located in Colorado. Please gamble responsibly. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply.
And shout out to the squad, our good friends over at Game Time, man. We are in the thick of college football season, of the NFL season, and I don't know if there's a better way to spend your Saturday afternoon or Sunday afternoon than at an NFL stadium, a college football stadium, cheering on your favorite team. The best way to do that is by hitting up our friends over at Game Time, man. Their zone deals are so clutch because you can save even more when you choose a section and just let Game Time choose the seats for you, and you get a panoramic view from those seats in the app before you buy. The lowest price guarantee is what Game Time guarantees, or they will credit you 110% of the difference. And as always, your purchase is covered with the most flexible customer service policy in the ticketing industry. Take the guesswork out of buying college football tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code BUFFS, BUFFS, for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code BUFFS, BUFFS, for $20 off. Tap, ticket, go. Download the Game Time app today. What time is it, Jakey?
Game time.
Game time.
Let's go,
get it,
man. All right, we ready for prime players?
Let's get it.
Let's do it then.
Let's do it.
They do it.
I regret to inform everyone that RK did not get his picks in time.
That RK.
It must be like in a different country or something.
I heard them Coors Lights hit different in Europe, bro. You know what I'm saying? So that
I
could
heard
be
that
it.
from a little birdie myself. Who wants to go first? Offensive prime player of the game.
I'll take it because it's a repeat for me.
Let's go. Run it.
You know, I said before, man, for us to control this clock and control this game, we got to have about 150 on the ground, and I'm including the quarterback in that. I need a big day out of Michael Welch tomorrow, so I'm going with him for offensive player of the game. I like his running style. I like his running energy. He is the human bowling ball, doesn't shy away from contact, and I think there's going to be some situations where we just got to have these yards, and he's the guy to get them guy. So I'm going Michael Welch, offensive player.
I love that pick, man. I think this could be the week, man. I think this could finally be the week that Michael Welch breaks 100 yards and becomes that first 100-yard rusher for Colorado of the Coach Prime era. I would love to see it, man. He's one of my favorite players to watch. I'm going with Joseph JoJo Williams. I think he is still being severely underrated by no fault of his own. When he gets opportunities, he makes the most of them. And with Iowa State down their top 2 cornerbacks, 2 All-American caliber cornerbacks, we saw Cincinnati kind of do whatever they wanted to last week in the run game, in the pass game, taking their deep shots down the field. I think JoJo gets one of those big, explosive chunk plays down the field, and he's my pick for offensive player of the game.
Scotty, before Jay goes, let me throw a little glaze your way, bro, because I saw JoJo stand up in a team meeting just like I saw the quarterback stand up and say, that was my fault and that won't happen again. I'm not even going to talk about where the ball was. The ball hit my hands. I should have come down with that. That would have changed the complexity of the game. That will not happen this week.
Let's go.
I like your pick.
Hell yeah.
Love it. I'm staying in the wide receiver room, and I'm taking my guy, Omari Miller. He obviously had 2 touchdowns last weekend.
Sure did.
Same kind of reasoning as you, bro. Iowa State's down corners. They're down bad. I know that running the ball and Micah Welch is going to be the engine of this offense probably. I think a lot of the points come from the passing game this weekend, though, in particular Omari Miller. Again, just throw it up to O. That's all you got to do.
He's kind of been on a heater since he returned from that injury.
He has.
Yeah, can't argue with that one either, Jake. His position coaches, whether it's the lead in there, Coach Jason Phillips or Rashad backing him up, they tell him he's the bell cow, particularly with the other Miller now becoming more of a running back in that Wildcat stuff. This is O. Miller's opportunity to really lead that room and lead it by example. And nothing leads more than stats to the stat pad. So let's go get them O.
Yes, sir.
Your pick for defense, Unc.
Ooh, man, let me tell you about this one. I believe this is the game that's going to matter, and I believe leadership steps up. As Coach Prime says in the presser, y'all watch the same game I saw. We've got to have better play from our cornerbacks, man.
Yeah.
Period. All right? They got a damn good quarterback over there. They got that quarterback where, as Coach Prime says, when you need your quarterback to make 2 or 3 plays a game that he just had to make, that's the kind of guy they got over there. Disciplined cornerback play is going to be crucial for us. Why not go with the guy who was leading us in that room preseason to make a statement in this game? I'm going with defense, DJ McKinney, cornerback, to have a big game. I need a pick. Pick, DJ.
It's time. I can see it. I love that pick of DJ. I think he's due for another big game as well. I went with London Merritt, the true freshman, for my pick for defensive player of the game. We already talked about it. This defensive line for Colorado is a bit banged up, even on the edge. London has the potential to play on the edge, on the interior. He is second on this team in pressures so far this season. He played last week a career-high 22 snaps. So he's not even playing a lot of snaps. Yeah. And is second on this team in pressures, only behind the man we just heard from not too long ago, Arden Walker, on this team. London Merritt notched his first career sack last week. I think he makes it 2 in a row. Give me London Merritt.
Ditto. I picked him too.
Nice.
And I think that he's the key to Unk's pick for defensive player in the game. I mean, he clearly, as Scott just laid out, he can get pressure on the quarterback. And you're going to have to get pressure on Iowa State to have a chance in this game at all. I think you had the stat in the roundtable. They have the second most sacks allowed this season
In the Big 12, that is correct. Iowa State does, yeah.
They're a good football team. Colorado's played a lot better offensive lines, I think, already this season and will past this point. So I think they have a department to take advantage of that there, and it's going to lead to some turnovers. You said only 2 interceptions for Rocco Becht so far this season. I think that number it's at least going to be +1 after this weekend. I think that they're going to get to him and rattle him a bit.
Jake, I got to tell you, I thought that you just knew ball. But you don't just know ball. You know schematics. You know schemes. You know how one thing forces something to the other direction.
Thank you.
And you're exactly right. Of the 3 reasons that I picked Keaton Wade as my sleeper, one of them was London Merritt. Because if I go this way, it's going to force stuff that way. And who's waiting over that way? I'm picking Keaton Wade as a sleeper for this game because, one, I've seen him do it before. We know about that big game the Twin had last year.
Yep.
I've seen his work at practice and focus, Hilo pouring into him, and I've seen what London Merritt and those guys can do in the middle as far as run stoppers. This gives those edge rushers. We just had one of them on in Arden Walker. I'm going to the other side with K. Wade to have a big game.
Love it, man.
I love that pick. I think he's been one of the most consistent players on the defense this year.
I mean, he has been. He has been, and shout out to him because he really battled through it last year in terms of injuries and all that stuff. So well deserved by Keaton Wade, man. We love to see it. Go ahead, Scotty.
I am going to go deep in my pockets for this pick. You see it right there on the screen. I think this has got to be the first time we've given our guy Mata a shout out on these prime players of the week. I think Mata is due for a big kick or maybe even 2 tomorrow at the crib in Iowa State. I think this is going to be another close game, and I think this could be a game that comes down to how good your field goal kicker is. And as we were talking about, Iowa State certainly isn't strong in that department, at least coming into this week, in terms of their field goal kicking. That's an issue for them, a weakness for them at this point. I think I can envision Mata kicking a game winner or kicking a big kick late in the game or maybe right before the half that really flips the momentum of this one. So give me my boy Ta.
Love that.
I mean, look, I already kind of laid it out there when we talked about special teams of why I think this is a massive opportunity for Colorado and Quentin Gibson. Again, this is just one of the worst performing kickoff teams in college football right now, Iowa State.
Yeah.
They're really struggling in the kicking department, in the coverage department. And when you have a dynamic player back there like Quentin Gibson, I'm also going back to last week. I think that mistake, how he fielded that punt or the lack thereof is going to kind of fuel him too.
Me too.
This is a national player of the year. Like he's going to take anything it takes to get motivated. And that's just way more than enough for him. I think it's only a matter of time. I might just keep picking him as dark horse for the rest of the year. But one of these weeks I'm going to be right because he's going to take one back all the way to the house. So shout out Quentin Gibson. He's my dark horse.
Thanks.
Man, I got the same theory, Jakey Poo. Why I keep going with Micah. It's going to happen. Like one of these weeks, it's going to happen. It's got to happen. And so I'm with you on that Q for 6. Again, man, sometimes when you try to treat these games as a silo, we're talking about going 1-0 each week. It's hard to be critical of a unit that has overperformed so well this season. But we had some glaring omissions last week on special teams. And that's just not the guys who practice in green, snapping and kicking the ball. I mean, the whole unit. Right. You get hit. You a Peter call isn't done. You get hit in the back with the ball. There's one that you should have fielded to run with. You fair catch it. Yeah. Mate 2.0 went Timu mate on one of them and then didn't get his best foot into it. I don't think that's going to carry over with that unit the way they work together and strive together. So I'm looking for a big game out of special teams. And I really just, as we said earlier, I think with them being down to their third kicker presents another slate of opportunity for us in special teams as well. We mess around and get a special team score. That's ball game.
I mean, that's one of the 3 phases. If you can win that phase, you would third it away there.
Facts.
You win on defense or you win on offense.
Win one more, basically.
Exactly right. Yeah. And I think this matchup is very much set up for Colorado to win that phase of this game. We talked about all offseason this season how special teams has to be special. And for the most part of this season, it has been for Colorado, save a few, mistakes last week. And let me even defend Quentin Gibson for a second. This is a true freshman we're talking about.
Yeah.
You can't say we got to play freshmen and be a school that says, like Coach Prime does, when you're a freshman, we expect you to play. We're not looking at you as a freshman or a senior like, no, if we think you could play, you're out there.
Mm-hmm.
And for people to get on a freshman for making a freshman mistake,
Right.
I think that's a bit backwards. Like when you put freshmen out there, yes, you're expecting them to play well, but you also got to know that here and there, they're going to look like a freshman. And I think that's what we saw from Quentin, and it's going to be about how he bounces back. I'm sure he heard a lot about that. I mean, Pac-Man asked Coach Prime in the presser this week about that mistake and whatnot. So I'm sure Quentin is very much abreast about what's been said about him and that mistake, those mistakes last week. And I think he'll come out better on the other side of it.
You know, Scotty, the deep pockets has been confirmed, but that you're the player guy on this panel. Like you have been that you have been in the locker room on the field. Like I love your words you just put there, because nothing beats game reps.
Exactly.
And we can talk about these talented freshmen. Look what happened the spring game, first play, Jordan Seaton.
Exactly right.
And look how he's grown from that. And so I see the same thing in Q for 6. It won't happen again. I'll tell you what I also love that the world doesn't get to hear. When we're breaking down the film on that Sunday and talking about the woulda, coulda, shouldas, Coach Pollock stood up and said, that's on me. Like, I got to take better control in that situation and understand I got a freshman back there and remind him of certain things.
I love that.
So, like Q, I know the world is looking at you, but you tell them that's on me. I put you in that situation, and I will make sure going forward that you're going to have the right information to make the right decision, because I have to appreciate the situation that you're in.
Hell yeah, Coach Pollock. Shout out to our guy Nate Freeman in the chat, too. We met him this past weekend in Fort Worth. What a guy. Shout out to you, Nate.
Unc, I wanted to ask you about a couple other things that kind of happened this week. The first one being the transfer portal. The NCAA announced that they're going to change the transfer portal window. Obviously, Coach Prime in this program, that's where they get a lot of, their high-profile players. Going back to, the time that you guys showed up here, just what is the vibe in the building on how that transfer portal window has changed things, or has it changed anything at all?
Man, I'd be speaking totally out of school if I tried to, say what the organization or Corey Phillips and that group is thinking on it, because I haven't had that conversation with them, but I also haven't picked up on any negative elevator chatter where people are upset about it. I think across the board, 30,000-foot view of college football, general manager recruiting people love it, because it minimizes some more crap you got to deal with, as far as re-recruiting your own team and timelines of getting people back in. But I expect, man, going forward, even this is going to change. We're still trying to learn how to navigate this new system and the ripple effects of this system. But if there's any organization or any head coach, then when you talk about changes to the portal and how to utilize the portal, I'm putting all my chips in the middle on Coach Prime, because from the COVID season to now, no one has managed it better, even while being ridiculed, only to have people do it the way you did it a year later.
Facts. Hey, speaking of, I don't know, your last words there just made me think about something that we've been talking about on the show this week. What are your thoughts on what's going on with boy Bill Belichick out there in Chapel Hill, North Carolina? Have you've been keeping up on what's been coming out of there?
I've been hearing the chatter. Was that buyout stuff real? Is he talking about leaving?
I don't know exactly how real a lot of that is. I can tell you that unlike what happened to CU, a lot of the negative news and stuff coming out of the program is coming from like stations in North Carolina. It's not like Alphon Sports writing random reports. They're not talking to disgruntled former players. They're getting quotes from parents, from players, from coaches, and this is local North Carolina news reporting this stuff. I can tell you that for sure.
Well, I will tell you this, man. This is going to sound like a joke because it's Bill Belichick, but I really mean it. It's hard for a guy who never looked happy to look even more unhappy, and he looks unhappy.
He looks miserable.
He looks like. That's why when I heard the buyout stuff, I was like, damn. I mean, his facial expression has some credibility to it. He doesn't look like he want to be there. Yeah. And I can say this about Coach Prime: COVID season at Jackson State, or when the wheels came off after TCU, or even now, it engages him even more. You're not gonna make a loss make him want to quit. a loss makes someone like running back right now. That's just that's that cornerback mentality, that 5% he was talking about. He's not trying to avoid a play being made on him. He wants to make a play. And when you look at other coaches around the league and not, around the college football, not picking on one individual, some people like to cherry pick. And I think that this would look like a good situation in UNC has not worked out that way. And man, I don't know him personally, but he does not look happy.
Yeah, it's unprecedented out there, to say the least. I mean, it's a week-to-week program, it seems, at this point. I
think they on bye this week, too.
They are on bye this week, so it's going to quiet down a little bit. Maybe. We'll see. I mean, at least the on-the-field stuff. But it's crazy how the off-the-field product's actually worse than on the field at this point in terms of what's coming out of there.
And that's
saying something.
It is. It is. Last one I got for you, Unc, I just want to get your thoughts on. Yesterday, news broke, or this might have been today, actually, this morning, that Shedeur Sanders is QB2 in Cleveland. Thoughts?
Man, I just can't bring myself personally to celebrate a damn thing that Cleveland does. It's like, because you wait on the other shoe to drop. Like the fact that this had to be a 24, 48-hour process and then an announcement when it's so damn obvious. The fact that they were entertaining bringing a guy from the practice squad and making him it's like, what are y'all doing? And then I look at what they've done since 1999. I go, okay, y'all are following the blueprint. I see. So I'm excited, for Shedeur to be listed as number 2.
Definitely.
And I can tell you this, knowing Shedeur personally, he doesn't want to become number 1 because Dylan Gabriel gets hurt.
Facts.
He doesn't want to become number 1 because Dylan has a strings of bad games. He wants to become number 1 because he is deserved and proved himself to be number 1. So I don't expect a lot of things to change in these next couple of weeks, even if Dylan were to slide in the production standpoint.
Yeah.
But I'll say this, and I said it on the morning run, say it in personal conversations. Here's what I know about a Travis Hunter down in Jacksonville, and they're rolling right now. And here's what I know about a Shedeur Sanders in Cleveland. Those guys are capable of saving your job.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
You might want to put them on the field as much as you damn can.
Facts. Well said.
Last thing I wanted to ask you on thoughts on Ralphie 7's name, Brandy.
I saw the name. I got enthused because I was in need of a drink. But then I remembered that there's always a correlation, and I did not see the correlation why they picked it. I know Ember, mom died in a fire, so they picked. Why did they choose Brandy?
No idea.
They chose.
Oh, it's the song.
Yeah, because of that song. Are you familiar with the 1972 song that she was named after, or something?
What's
Brandy?
it called, Scotty?
I don't know. Apparently, it's named after a song though, like a hit song from 1972. Unc.
Well, she wasn't born in 72. Hell, I was born in 71. That thing ain't as old as me, is it?
No.
I sure never heard of it. RK was trying to tell us that we definitely have heard of it before, but definitely haven't.
I will tell you this. If home field didn't matter, they wouldn't care how they schedule games. You might be on the road 12 weeks in a row. Home field matters. Home crowd energy matters.
Yep.
And even though this is just now going into my half of a season, been here 3 years now, the response to this Ralphie running compared to last year gets the crowd going, which gets the players going.
Yep,
so
facts.
let's stick with Brandy because it works.
I'm with it.
All right, that's all I got to ask you, but we got to hash something out real quick. Uncle. Not with you, but between Scotty and I. So
let me start.
No, let me set the table here. Go ahead. Every Thursday, we do our scouting and pick show, right? So we scouted Iowa State. Right. We had our picks for week 7 yesterday. We made all our picks. We even got our K's picks. Went really well. Great show. Had a lot of fun. Unfortunately, a lot of these, or 2 games in particular, the lines of those games have been heavily affected by injuries. The first being Scotty's pick of Kansas State against TCU. He picked Kansas State thinking that Dylan Edwards was going to play and play a large role. Dylan Edwards is not going to play. I took Arizona State to cover against Utah. Their starting quarterback is out, and the line has gone up by 3 points. I don't know if this K-State line has moved. Do you know if it's moved?
I don't know. I haven't checked.
Should we be allowed to change our picks, Unc?
Based on injury reports?
Based on the injury reports that both came out after we made our picks.
I would say in the spirit of camaraderie and intent, yes.
Well put, Unc. Well put. Because I just thought
Now,
that was
if
just
we were
common
walking
sense.
up to the if we were walking up to the window at Vegas, then hell no, it is what it is. You know, you just got to lay another bet. But two bros sitting on the panel and this info came out, I don't mind a change.
For sure.
I will add, though.
You got new information before kickoff.
Exactly. Yeah, on a Thursday. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not a big deal.
Fair. I will add, though, the line for the ASU game has moved 3 points, obviously, because the quarterback is out.
Yes.
The line for the Kansas State game is not moved.
Doesn't matter to me.
I'm just throwing that out there.
The line really has nothing. I thought K-State would have won with Dylan Edwards. I don't think they win without Dylan Edwards. Like, it's as simple as that.
All right.
Just like you think Arizona State would have won with Sam Leavitt.
No. I said they would have covered. They would have covered 5.5.
Oh, okay. All right. Valid. I feel you. So, yeah, I think it's valid to it's not like this is Saturday morning. It's not like this is 2 hours before kickoff. This is 48 hours in advance.
Okay.
So I think it's valid. And really,
Unc,
what he left out, Unc, was that he wasn't even going to let me do it. He wasn't trying to let me do it until the news of Sam Leavitt being out today broke.
Because quarterback matters way more.
I want to change
it. Moved the line 3 points, bro.
Bro, it's an important
3
player.
points.
It's an important player.
Yeah, important player is an important player. If you got a heavy, let me take it back to my, all roads lead back to Dallas. Take it back to my Cowboys days. Emmett being out matters just as much as Aikman being out. And so, like, it depends on what the style of the team is. I get it, Jake. The quarterback is going to move the number. But if it's a team that heavy load running back and that running back can't play, that changes things.
Every team. Salute.
I would say this, fella, speaking of lines, and I know we got to bounce. We've been around 14 points, 20 points. What were we, like 2.5 on this one?
It was 3 yesterday. I've got the updated lines here. 2.5 now. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. Interesting.
It is interesting.
Love it. Do we have any super chats or anything, Alyssa? Are we good? Cool. All right, Unc. We'll do this again tomorrow. Obviously, post-game show. Can't wait to meet up with you out there in Boulder. You have any final words?
I say the words of Big Oos, D-line Coach Pecco. When your back is against the wall, you got to take a step forward. Let's take a step forward tomorrow and get this win.
Let's get it.
Love it, man. We got another video, Know Your Enemies, up on the YouTube channel right now. Go check that out. And then, we'll be back tomorrow evening for the post-game show after Colorado versus Iowa State.
Believe that.
Be kind to each other. Have fun tomorrow. Enjoy the game. Go Buffs.
And always let your friends change their bets when they've been injured.
Always.
Facts.
Always. Squad.
We all silly like the mayor.